Good afternoon, good morning. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to get started in just a few moments. We're just going to allow a few more people to connect to the Zoom and to the live streaming that's going on YouTube. But thank you so much for joining us, and we are really going to begin in just another minute. Thank you. Wonderful. Once again, I would like to extend a really warm welcome to all of you joining us on Zoom. There's 500 of you at least with us on Zoom, and there were thousands of you registered for this webinar from across the world. So thank you so much for your interest in this new trade map, and we're so excited to delve into this with you. My name is Anya Jankowska, and I am from the Trade and Market Intelligence section of ITC, and I will be your moderator today. In a moment, we're going to, apologies. In a moment, we will begin this session with a few opening remarks on behalf of the European Commission, but also the International Trade Center. And then Sujin from the ITC team will walk us through some demos and highlight some of the new and exciting features of TradeMap. Following that, we will share a brief video with some user feedback. And then, of course, you will be able to also share your questions. Please note that there is a question and answer icon at the bottom of your screens. And so you will be able to share your questions directly there. Some of them might be answered immediately, and others will be saved for the question and answer session. So this is a little bit the exciting lineup we have for you. So just a few housekeeping issues. Please note that the chat is disabled in this large open public webinar, but once again, we hope to interact with you through the question and answer session, and we will also be sharing our contact information to be able to follow up with us via email. And we'll also be sharing additional details with you on how you can connect with us after this session. All of you who are joining this webinar, or even those of you who have registered, will receive both the slides as well as the full recording of the session. So don't worry about that. That will be coming shortly. So once again, thank you so much for joining us. And to kick off the session, I'd like to pass the floor to Isabel Emerson from the European Commission. Isabel Emerson is the team lead in the Private Sector Engagement and Employment Unit in the European Commission's Directorate for International Partnerships. So thank you so much for being with us, Isabel. And please, the floor is yours. Isabel, if you could just please unmute your mic.
Yes, I was saying thank you, Anna. Good afternoon to all. And it's amazing that we can do this conversation with so many of you at the same time. I'll start by saying in today's world, uncertainty is a new constraint, a constant rather. Trade dynamics are shifting, value chains are evolving. In this context, one thing becomes essential: access to reliable, timely, and actionable trade intelligence. Why is this? Because it helps us navigate complexity, it helps us anticipate change, it helps us understand risk, and above all, it helps us make better and more strategic decisions. We at the European Union remain firmly committed to inclusive and sustainable trade led growth. This is the heart of our global gateway approach. And we know one thing clearly: access to information matters. When firms, especially small and medium sized enterprises, have access to good trade data, they can connect to new markets, they can diversify, they can grow, and they can participate more fully in global trade. And just a little point. In my unit, we work a lot with the delegations that organize business promotion events. So this is a key point, is try to understand where are there opportunities and how can our European firms and local partners benefit from this partnership. This is why our partnership, as well with the International Trade Center, is so important. Together, we support TradeMap as a global public good, a tool that makes high-quality trade data not only available, but usable. And I've heard a lot of positive feedback on this revised trade map. In doing so, it reduces information gaps, it levels the playing field, and it opens doors for businesses in developing and emerging economies. Over the years, TradeMap has reached millions of users around the world. Today, we mark an important step forward with this upgraded version. It is more intuitive, more visual, more powerful, and it stressed what matters most: evidence based decision making and smarter market diversification. More broadly, this is what good multilateral cooperation looks like. It is about partnerships that deliver real impact at scale. It's about bridging the information divide and the digital divide. And it is about empowering people, businesses, and economies to be more resilient, more inclusive, and more sustainable. This is the value of TradeMap, and that is the direction we must continue to pursue together. Thank you to the ITC team for having made this a reality. Thank you for us that are listening for using this tool. We believe it can make a difference. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you so much, Isabel, for sharing your words and your perspective. We wouldn't be here today without the incredible support of the European Commission for global public goods like TradeMap. And this is really empowering for so many firms and for so many users, as you mentioned, across the world. And Sujin and her team have been working extremely hard to make TradeMap an even better and even more exciting and useful tool. Now, I would like to please pass the floor to part of our ITC team, to Senior Market Analyst Mathieu Loridan, and he will also give a few introductory remarks on behalf of ITC. Mathieu?
Thank you, Anya. Thank you, Isabel. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very pleased to welcome you today to the launch of the new trade map. I'd like to thank you for being so many today, joining us to this important milestone. And let me extend a special appreciation to Isabel and to the European Union for your continued and generous support over the years in making this possible. To begin, we'd like to launch a quick poll to see how many of you know the current version of TradeMap and how many of you already tried the new version. So please take a moment to submit your response using the poll you may see on your screen. The first question is an historical one to give us some perspective on the TradeMap platform. Some of you might even recall the CD-ROM version PCTAS, but here I'm talking about the first TradeMap website. The second question is to see how many of you were curious enough or ready to explore the new version, to get a sense of your appetite for it. So please don't be shy and answer the questions.
We have about half of you that have already answered the poll. Thank you so much for your active engagement. Almost 300 of you now. We'll give you another 10 seconds to share your perspective, 5 seconds maybe. But thank you very much for your active engagement. 5, 4, 3,
2,
1.
Here we are. Thank you for your participation. As you can see from the results, TradeMap was first launched online in 1999, so 25 years ago. What is particularly striking is that despite being created more than 2 decades ago, the platform has continued to grow in both relevance and popularity. And this is true in a very rapidly changing digital landscape where many tools come and go. But TradeMap has remained a trusted and essential resource for analysis of trade worldwide. We believe indeed access to accurate and timely information had always been critical for businesses and policy decisions, but this is even more important today in our rapidly evolving environment. TradeMap transforms one of the world's largest trade databases into an actionable insight, helping both businesses and policymakers to adapt to shifting global dynamics while also identifying new opportunities. So far, these tools have served millions of users across more than 220 economies, making it a vital resource for ministries, chamber of commerce, businesses, and business support organizations around the globe. Over the past decade, TradeMap, together with other ITC market analysis tools, has even supported an estimated 2.5 billion US dollars in business transactions. With this newly version, we aim to unlock even greater impact and further support inclusive trade-led growth. For that, the new TradeMap introduces a more intuitive interface, streamlined search capabilities, and enhanced features designed to improve your overall experience. It offers a faster, more flexible, and customizable way to explore data through interactive charts, maps, and tables. With this new version, you can build and compare tailored product groups, market groups, but also save your analysis, and soon you will even be able to receive alerts on evolving market developments. As our poll results indicated, many of you have not yet had the opportunity to explore the new version. But today's session will provide you a comprehensive overview on how you can leverage TradeMap to expand your business into new markets. So once again, I would like to thank you very much for being with us today, so many of you, and I wish you all an informative webinar. Please feel free also to share your questions at any time using the Q&A sections below. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mathieu. It's clear that TradeMap remains an incredibly relevant and powerful tool, and now we'll have a chance to discover the latest enhancements. So now I'd like to please pass the floor to Sujin Heo, who is the TradeMap manager, as well as senior government procurement and market analyst here at ITC. And Sujin and her team have been working extremely hard for months to make this new version a reality. And thank you so much, Sujin, for being here to share it with us today. Over to you.
Thank you, Anya. Thank you, Isabel, and thank you, Mathieu. And hello, and thank you, everybody, joining us today. As Anya said, we've been working for the new TradeMap over a year, and I'm really, really excited to finally be able to share it with you today. And from the Alice poll, we can see that many of you have already explored the new tool, which is really encouraging. And for those who haven't had a chance yet, I hope this session will be a great guide. Now, let me share my screen. And start my presentation. Okay. So the new TradeMap is the first major revamp since 2008. The tool has been online in 1999, but the tool has gone through a revamp in 2028, and we haven't gone through any major revamp since then. So this wasn't just a visual refresh. We rebuilt it to make trade analysis faster, clearer, and more intuitive. And here's how. First, the navigation is now much easier with a clear module structure. Users can reach key features more quickly, and the redesigned search and filters also make analysis setup faster and more intuitive. The analysis experience has improved as well. We have now cleaner and more flexible tables, and access to the company data is more faster. And we have now bilateral trading services data available for selected countries. The new TradeMap also features richer visual insights. Charts and maps have enhanced, and new time-lapse feature. With the new time-lapse feature, you can see how trade patterns have evolved over time. The new Resources Center is now a one-stop hub for all help materials. And with the new redesigned data availability page, You can easily check the data coverage and sources. And personalization is one of the key focuses of this revamp. You can now save frequent queries for quicker access, and creating custom groups is easier. And all of these personalization features are now brought together in my workspace, which is our new personal hub. And more personalized features are coming later this year, such as data update notifications and a trade dashboard to monitor the trend of your trade of your interest through saved charts. And looking ahead, we are also preparing an AI-powered HS search integrated into the product search and advanced analysis module for deeper trade insights. Now let's see how it works in practice. Imagine you're a cocoa exporter in Ecuador, and you'd probably want to answer these key questions. Where does Ecuador stand? Which market should Ecuador target? Who are the competitors in the target market? Or who are the potential partners there? Oh, sorry, I'll have to go back. Okay, so now let's find the answers together in the new trade map. I'll switch to the new trade map and start our analytical journey. So here, we are here in the new trade map. So let's start with the first question. Where does Ecuador stand? I'll go to time series first. So we can go directly to time series either from the quick link here on the home page or from the menu here, time series. And for exporter, I'll set Ecuador as the exporter. And notice the new country search, we have economies and economic groups integrated in one place. So I'll set Ecuador as the exporter. And for product, I simply type cocoa, and the system instantly suggests the relevant HS codes. Or alternatively, in advanced product search, we can browse HS hierarchy, assisted by like keywords or filters like this. And on the latest searches, I can also access the product codes that I searched recently. So I'm going to select cocoa and cocoa preparations HS18 for now. And let's see. Okay. So we can quickly see that Ecuador cocoa experts have surged in recent years, especially for 2024 and 2025. And if you click break down by product, the growth has been mainly driven by cocoa beans. So here's the question. So is it only Ecuador or the whole market that is growing? So to answer this question, I'm going to switch exporter to world and select cocoa bean and switch view by exporter. In aggregation view, we can see that overall market expanded sharply, especially in 2024. We break down by economy. We can see the performances were mixed across exporters. So Ecuador here, the blue line, stands out as the biggest gainer, rising sharply into the top tier, and Cote d'Ivoire, the top, remains as a leader, maintaining its top position, and all other key exporters grew in 2024 as well, though a few fell behind. So overall, the market is growing, but the competitive landscape is changing fast. So now let's move to the next question. Where should Ecuador target? I'm going to going back to table and to explore Ecuador markets. So using this table-to-table navigation, using this shortcut, I'll go directly to importing economies for Ecuador's cocoa bean exports. Clicking this. Okay, great. And I'll switch to trade indicators. And I'm going to slightly adjust the table. The new trade map features more flexible table. We can reorder the columns. I'm going to put these key indicators right next to the importer. Okay, and even change the how the numbers are displayed. I'll set as row. Okay, here. So if you sort by share in Ecuador's exports, you can see that Malaysia is leading, and followed by the United States, Indonesia, and Belgium. If you switch to map view, you can see that Ecuador's cocoa bean exports is already well diversified across different continents, such as Asia, Europe, and North America. If we sort by share in wool's imports, the picture slightly changes. Netherlands is leading, followed by Malaysia, Germany, and Belgium. So it seems that Ecuador appears to have a relatively strong presence in United States or Indonesia if we compare these two indicators. And if we sort by growth of partners' imports, we can spot some markets with strong momentum, although they have smaller market share today, but they are worth watching. And the next question is, which market deserves priority? Using the bubble graph, we can compare markets at a glance. Each bubble represents a market, and bubble size shows market size. The vertical axis shows import growth, and the horizontal axis shows share in Ecuador exports. And we also added a short description below the chart to help users interpret the chart more easily. The first thing you're going to notice in this chart is every bubble is blue, which means Ecuador export growth to partner is larger than partner import growth from the world. So Ecuador is gaining market share in most of the markets, which is very encouraging for the Ecuador. And we can identify two target groups from this chart. The first, the upper right group here, such as Malaysia, Belgium, or Netherlands. These group combine size, growth, and Ecuador's proven performance. These are markets where Ecuador should consolidate and expand further. The second, another cluster in the upper left, such as Canada or Mexico. So Ecuador has a smaller presence there today, but these markets are growing quickly. So they could be a strong candidate for market diversification for Ecuador. And before moving on, I want to save this setup to easily monitor Ecuador's cocoa bean export performance in its core markets. So using this new save query, can quickly save this setup, including all these indicators or other advanced filters. And I can retrieve these queries using load query or manage my saved queries in my workspace. I'm going to go back and proceed with our analysis. Now, we're going to select one target market and take a closer look. For example, Malaysia. So using this quick link, can go to Malaysia's imports from cocoa bean imports from world by exporter. I'll switch to time series to view the trend. Now slightly extend the time range. From this line chart, we can see the evolution of Malaysia's imports from different exporters. So it seems that in earlier years, no single supplier dominated in this market. But around 2019, Cote d'Ivoire, this blue line, began to lead the market. But in recent years, Ecuador has grown rapidly, reaching the first place in 2025. Still, Cote d'Ivoire remains a strong competitor, and Nigeria, this sky blue line, has been rising rapidly. So Malaysia is a market Ecuador must defend and grow. And with the new tree map time-lapse feature, we can see this market shifts even clearer. You can see the Ecuador's share in picture. Okay, now the final question. Who could be the right partners in Malaysia? I switch to companies. Here, we can explore Malaysian companies related to cocoa bean imports. We have 134 companies. As initial list is too broad, I'm going to search by product category. So product category and try to find search. Yep. Let me try the sort. Doesn't properly. Let me try it again. Okay. Let's try to find companies who's trading chocolate or confectionery in the trade category, or alternatively, you can find chocolate products here. And you can see the list of companies who's trading chocolate or cocoa products. It seems that many users are in the new trade map, so we'll wait to have the full table. Category. Let me try it again. So, okay, we can see the list of companies. So I can just briefly do this. So here, if you use this company profile, you can access the company details like contact details, or for those who have websites, a link to the company website and company information. And you can even jump out to the company webpage for a quick verification or outreach. And this helps turn market research into real business lead. Now, and finally, some of you may want to integrate trade map data into your system. So let's see if that's supported. I'll check in the Resources Center. So I'll type API. And yes, TradeMap does offer API solution. The TradeMap offers an API solution, and you can request using this link. Perfect. And let's check data availability and sources. So here you can see that for 2025, TradeMap covers 91 economies, which corresponds to over 87% of global trade. And you can also check the data coverage for individual country, like Malaysia. So we can see for 2025, both countries are covered, and for monthly, up to February data is covered for both countries. And if you add reporting and data sources, we can check the reporting level and data sources for each economy. That concludes our live demonstration of the new trade map. In just short demo, we moved from market position to target markets and potential partners. That is the new trade map, from data to decisions. Now, I'm going to switch back to slides. And yeah, the new trade map is now live in public beta. So the public beta will remain available until the full launch, which is planned for July. And during the beta period, all features are open to registered users at no cost. So please explore the new platform and share your feedback. This will help us shape the new feature of the trade map. You can trade the new trade map today at beta.trademap.org or through this QR code here, or simply switch via the banner at the top of the current trade map. Lastly, TradeMap becomes even more powerful when combined with other ITC market analysis tools. For example, with Export Potential Map, you could identify Ecuador's untapped export potential for cocoa beans in target markets. And with Market Access Map, you could use tariff and market access conditions to refine target market priorities. We also offer Rules of Origin Facilitator, Investment Map, and Procurement Map for origin rules, investment insights, or procurement opportunities worldwide. So please visit the Market Analysis Tools portal to access all tools at marketanalysis.intrasend.org. With one registration, you can access the full ecosystem. That concludes my presentation. So I will hand it over to Anya for testimonial session. And after that, I will return for a short Q&A session. If you would like to submit a question, please do so now. Q&A submissions will close shortly. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Soo-Jin, for sharing that detailed demonstration and for highlighting the new features. As somebody who's been using TradeMap for a few years, it was certainly really great for me to discover the simplified new interface, and I find it very clear and very easy to use. As Soo-Jin mentioned, we will soon be having the question and answer segment, so if you haven't already included your questions in the Q&A box down below, please do so. I know that My colleague Sam has been actively answering a lot of them for you already. So if you hadn't had a chance to look, please also have a glance and see if your question maybe has already been answered. But I know that there have been already over 50 questions submitted. So thank you so much for your active engagement throughout this webinar. As you complete your questions, I just wanted to share quickly a small video with some user feedback that we've gotten. Now, as you know, TradeMap has been used by millions of users over the years, and as Matthew mentioned, it's really catalyzed billions of dollars in trade transactions. So it's a really powerful tool, but we just wanted to share a quick video that highlights some user experiences across diverse regions. So if you bear with me for just a second.
My name is Alfred Wasiche, and I am based in Kampala, Uganda, in East Africa.
I'm Catherine Lee from Manila, Philippines. I work for the Embassy of the Netherlands as a senior economic officer.
Hi, I'm Cesar Trabanco. I'm the VP of International Business Services at the Global Chamber.
At Chanzo Coffee, we use TradeMap as a key tool to guide our export and expansion strategy.
We assist Dutch companies who intend to expand in the Philippines. Together with the Netherlands Enterprise Agency, we curate the customized country information and market exploration report.
We use TradeMap as a special tool to help our members find new markets and partners around the world.
For anyone who has never used it before, my message is simple. Let the data guide your decisions.
The platform is intuitive, easy to navigate, and designed to support you from your very first search.
It is a tool that will allow you to get data that not everyone has, and that will put your product or service into the market that better suit your business. One particular case that comes to mind is when I was helping an exporter in the US with a product, a very particular product is a painting for small collectible vehicles or cars. And these members was interested in the European market, but he wasn't sure where to start. So we used TradeMap to identify the best country and eventually find partners for him.
Thank you very much for your attention. And I think now we will go ahead and proceed with the question and answer section. Thank you again for your very active engagement. We've seen a lot of questions coming in. We won't be able to answer all of them if there's a few of them that we don't answer immediately, we will also get back to you and answer them after this webinar. So please don't feel that if you don't hear your question answered immediately, it hasn't been taken into account. And we will also share further channels of communication. So in case you didn't get a chance to ask your question yet, you will still be able to for the weeks and months to come. So I would like to please invite Sujin back on stage to share her answers to some of the questions that we have received here through the Q&A box on this webinar. Sujin?
Thank you, Anya. I'll try to turn on my video. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Anya. We have received lots of questions through the webinar, and thank you very much for your strong interest and engagement. So I'll try to address a few most common and important ones now. And for those who haven't answered yet, I hope we can reach out to us through contact us form. So some first questions. So some users have asked about access, the legacy TradeMap access after the beta period. So during the transition period until the full launch, which is planned for July, both legacy and the new version remain accessible. And we expect to switch the default view to the new trade map soon. So users will first land on the new platform. However, users will still be able to switch back to the legacy version anytime through the banner at the top of the new trade map platform. So before the final transition, so we will communicate again clearly about the plan, and our priority is to ensure that the new trade map is stable, complete, and comfortable for users before any full switch. And we have also some questions about missing features like currency. So new trade map is currently in beta, which means some features are being still refined and completed. So we open the beta early to get more feedback from the different users and allow time for users to get used to the new platform. So during the beta period, we will continue to add missing features and improve the existing features. So we warmly encourage users to report the issues or missing features you're encountering the new platform. You can report bugs or issues using the report bug form in the banner on top of the new platform. So please share your feedback or report any issues. We also have a question on the 2025 data updates. So we have around over 90 countries covered for the 2025, and for those it's not covered, we will continue to update the data as we receive the data from our official data source. And 2025 global trade indicators is planned to publish by next week, so you will soon be able to see the trade indicators for 2025. And finally, the final question is about pricing. So we have some questions on the access after the beta. So during the beta period, all features are freely accessible for all users or registered users. And after the beta, we are also reviewing our pricing policy to ensure the sustainability of the tool while ensure the broader access of the all users. So as soon as we have the new platform, we will communicate with you. But what we can say today is all the core features will be accessible to all users, including most of the features I show you today. And secondly, the preferential pricing policy for developing country users or our donors will continue. So we will communicate the details as soon as we have it. So the other question, we also have a question about the languages. So at the moment, the platform is available in English. Our immediate priority is to stabilize the beta version and complete key features, and language expression is on our agenda. So we'll continue to consider work on the new languages as we proceed with the full launch. And yeah, I think that's most of the common questions we've received today. And thank you again very much for your excellent questions. And due to the time constraint, we will stop here for today. If you could not address your questions, please feel free to contact us. We have a contact us form on the new trade map. On the footer, you can find the contact us form. So we will happy to follow with you. And now let me hand it back to Anya.
Thank you, Sujin, and thank you again to all of you. I've seen there have been many, many questions. As Sujin said, if we haven't gotten them today, we will be in contact with you, and we will also share our communication channels, including the market analysis at Intrasend account, which you can always write to if you have any questions or doubts. We really hope that you are as excited about TradeMap as we are. And now, for just a few closing remarks, I would like to please hand over the floor to Mathieu Loridan. Mathieu, over to you.
Thank you very much, Anya. Thank you, Sujin, and thank you, Ola, for your engagement in this webinar. I would like also to take this opportunity to congratulate the whole ITC TradeMap team and thank them for their hard work, dedication, and passion over the last months to make sure the new TradeMap adapt to the needs of its users and continue supporting businesses across the globe. We hope this session has given you a clear view of how the new TradeMap can support your work, whether you are identifying new markets, analyzing competitors, or tracking global trade trends. As you've seen, this new version is designed to be more intuitive, more flexible, and more powerful, helping you to turn data into decisions with greater speed and confidence. But today is just the beginning. We encourage all of you to explore the platform further, test its features, and integrate it into your daily work. Please also share any feedback as we continue to improve and expand the tool and spread the word to your partners. I would like to thank you once again for your participation and engagement today. It's been an honor being with you for the launch of the new TradeMap, and we look forward to continuing this journey with you. So I wish you all happy TradeMap use. Thank you.
Thank you, Mathieu, and thank you all for joining this session and for your engagement. You can see that we're sharing a slide that gives you the market analysis at intrasend.org email and some of the other channels that you can continue to be in contact with us. And I would also kindly ask you to be our ambassadors of this new version and to help us get the word out to anyone that wasn't able to join us today, but that you think could benefit from access to timely and reliable trade data these days. Just one last piece of information. When you exit this webinar, you're going to get a quick exit survey. It's just 1 minute. We would really appreciate if you could share your feedback on how useful this session was and your first impressions of the new TradeMap. It's a really, really quick thing. So thank you again for joining us. And as Mathieu said, we're very excited to begin this new version of TradeMap journey with you here today. Wishing you an excellent rest of the day.